Ladies and gentlemen, react time. Today we will be reacting to Le Big Boss, the Absolute Chaos of Concord. Now, if you don't know anything about me, this is your first time watching any of my content, sub and like. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, come on, sub and like. Also, go ahead and check out my main channel. I have 1,600 subs and I'm hoping to get to 2,000 subs, and only you can make that happen. What do I know about Concord? Wasn't it that Sony was predicting, or not predicting, they wanted this game to be their next and upcoming version of Star Wars? Sure thing, Sony. Anyway, I don't want to waste your time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get straight into the video, okay?
This video is sponsored by NordVPN.
Good old Nordy, huh?
The year is 2024, and Sony is about to
Amazing
release
year, am I right? Yay.
a project they'd had in the works for almost a decade, and with a reported budget of up to $400 million. By far their most expensive game yet. Nothing could go wrong. The year is 2016. Overwatch has just come out, and it's making the rounds.
Oh,
everywhere.
good old Overwatch.
It's very popular. It's the first AAA shooter since TF2 almost a decade ago, and it's good. Amazing gameplay.
Oh my god, I remember when Overwatch came out, I really did not give a crap about that game. It was only until my brother who told me, hey, I have the game, if you want to try it out, go ahead. Didn't try it out for a while, and then eventually I remembered that he had it, and I decided, yeah, you know what, why not, let's give it a try. I tried it out. I shit you not, I just got so addicted. For a good month or two, every morning, every day or something, I would get on his laptop when he was still asleep, because he would sleep all day. I would just get on his laptop and just start playing freaking Overwatch for a long ass time every day, and god, I had so much fun. And then Overwatch 2 came out, and then they changed Sombra, and now I hate the game. That's right, I'm a Sombra man. I love Sombra. There was nothing wrong with old Sombra. She was amazing, she was perfect. There was nothing wrong with her.
Play shooter since TF2 almost a decade ago, and it's good. Amazing
very
gameplay
good.
and map design, well-designed characters with a ton of personality, and a decent cosmetic system.
Oh my god.
Around the same time, an exodus at Bungie. And ex-Bungie developers coalesced to form what would become Firewalk Studios. Initial meetings are held on their first project. You guys seen that Overwatch thing?
Wait. Sorry, hold on. Wait. From Bungie?
Time, an exodus at Bungie.
Lots of Destiny devs have left Bungie recently to make indie games.
And ex-Bungie developers coalesced to form what would become Firewalk Studios.
There's no... I didn't know that. Wait, so Bungie was... Or ex-Bungie employees were...
Studios. Initial meetings are held on their first project. You guys seen that Overwatch thing? Yeah? Let's do that. And I
had no idea about this.
Fast forward to 2021.
Oh god, that running.
Now, at this point in time, Sony's gaming department is headed by a man named Jim Ryan. He and the boys at Sony look around. The gaming landscape had changed. Gone were the days where you just made a game and sold it. Fortnite was now here. And if you weren't selling stolen dance moves and Peter Griffin skins through recurrent battle passes, you were losing. They look at their own games. Uncharted, The Last of Us, God of War, Spider-Man. Some great stuff. One problem. Not one of them was live service, and therefore wasn't printing buckets of cash for Jim and the boys.
Dude, live service games. I understand the whole appeal of live service and how it can generate a lot of revenue. I hate the whole premise of battle passes and all that shit. I hate it. Don't get me wrong, there's some games that do it right, like for example Warframe with Nightwave. It's just so nice of being able to just, you don't have to buy the battle pass, it's in there, do some challenges, and you can just level up and you get some, you know, bit of loot, you get some mods and stuff like that. And then you have the controversy of EA with their battle pass with Apex Legends, and I just hate the whole premise of battle passes. I despise them. If they're done tastefully, then I guess sure, but I would just rather all video games just not have anything like battle pass. I'm more on board of games having microtransactions if it's something for just like cosmetic. I'm okay with it. But there's just something about battle passes where I'm done, because maybe it's because the chance of it installing FOMO, really.
Some great stuff. One problem. Not one of them was live service, and therefore wasn't printing buckets of cash for Jim and the boys.
It's sad that video games are like
makes a decision.
Live service and battle pass.
PlayStation is gonna kick the doors down, burst into this market head first. But first, time to go shopping. And Herman Hulst, head of PlayStation Studios, starts looking for a few developers they could swap up to help make that happen. It's around this time that Sony gets word of Firewalk,
get a little taste,
and they like what they hear. A studio made up of industry vets with a ton of talent. Ex-Battlefield devs, ex-Destiny devs, and
charge money for rounds.
The studio's
Horrible.
creative
Oh god. Wait, who?
And ex-Halo devs.
Halo devs. Oh my god. Halo's Bungie. Oh my god.
On Destiny 2. Their mission statement:
I didn't know
to
this.
craft incredible multiplayer experiences that bring people together and inspire unforgettable and unexpected shared moments. Wow. They'd even started work on their first game, a hero shooter set in an original sci-fi universe.
Dude, also, I'm sorry. Let me know down in the comments on your thoughts or if you agree with me or not. I'm kind of getting tired of this whole hero shooter genre. I don't understand the appeal. Don't get me wrong. I know some games it works well. For example, Overwatch, and then Apex, and, you know, Deadlock, for example, League of Legends. But then there's games like the big one that came out was X-Defiant for me. When I heard that game was coming out and people were hyping it up saying that it was going to be the next Call of Duty or the Call of Duty killer, I knew it wasn't going to be as good, but at least it could have been, I wouldn't say toe-to-toe, just as good as Call of Duty, just free to play. Basically, it just could have been a good game. But then there was two big things that put me off of the game. One, it was being made by Ubisoft. And then two, I heard that it was going to be a freaking hero shooter. I didn't... When I heard those two things, I knew the game was going to be done for. And who would have guessed? I just didn't understand, why did they have to make it into a hero shooter? I thought when I heard the game was coming out, I thought it was going to be a boots to the ground, just... You know, your player or your character or whatever is cosmetic, kind of like Call of Duty, how it is. And then you make your own class of gun and then pick whatever gear and, you know, the grenades, whatever, and go and shoot. Super simple. But then I just don't understand. I don't understand why it had to become a hero shooter. I will give them one thing though. Give credit where it's due. I thought the hero system in X-Defiant was pretty cool. You know, using other Ubisoft game factions, you know, like Far Cry, Watch Dogs, Splinter Cell and all that. That was pretty cool, but it doesn't change the fact that it was a hero shooter. And then, I mean, the game also performed horribly. The hit scan was horrible. It was dog water. I knew the game wasn't good. I just don't understand the whole appeal of hero shooters, really. There's, like I said, there's some games that are okay and I like them, but I just don't understand this whole hero shooter genre popping off and going crazy. I just don't understand it.
A hero shooter set in an original sci-fi universe called Concord. Sounds promising. So Sony is interested. They ask for a sneak peek of the game, and what they see amazes them. What Firewalk is making is so innovative, so impressive.
Oh no, that edit, no.
What Firewalk is making is so innovative, so impressive.
Expand the
They want
fupa.
in immediately. They'd seen the success of Overwatch and Valorant. This hero shooter genre is an absolute cash cow. And now it was Sony's turn.
I guess hero shooters can be a good cash cow, but I feel like another potential good investment idea, or maybe not because of how big the game is and how big the fan base for that game is, making a game that rivals Call of Duty. And I mean a good one, not like X-Defiant, because we saw how that was. Honestly, the only one that I remember that was really good, but you have to remember it was a different time. It was back then, like in 2012, around that. And maybe I'm a boomer and not that many people remember, but does anybody remember Blacklight Retribution? I remember reading an article. I don't know if it was from IGN. There was an article stating how this free-to-play game was rivaling Call of Duty. Because I think it was like one of the I think it was during the time when free-to-play was barely starting, something like that, if I remember. You have to remember, people back then would spend their money on buying and making a gaming computer. And then imagine if you had no money. Boom, what do you play? Oh, hey, Call of Duty? Well, I already spent my money. I don't have enough to buy it. Guess what? There's this free-to-play game that's just as good and rivaling Call of Duty, and it's free-to-play. Blacklight Retribution. Blacklight Retribution was actually like rivaling Call of Duty back then. And then that, sadly, the devs kind of just stopped working on it as it started. I feel like Blacklight Retribution could have still been doing well if they just kept it updated and all that, but they kind of just stopped. I feel like that's a potential It is gonna be hard to pull off, but a potential good idea to do. But I just don't think it is because of how big the fan base and how big the game is nowadays. But I feel like nobody's done like a good rival to Call of Duty since Blacklight Retribution, and it would be awesome if someone did it. Because Call of Duty, I'm sorry, but I don't know what's going on with Call of Duty, but the games aren't as good as the MW2 and Black Ops 2 days, if you understand.
And now it was Sony's turn. April 2021, and a deal is struck. Some cash on the table from Sony, and Firewalk's hero shooter would come out as a first-party exclusive for the PlayStation 5 and PC. Nice. Sony now had a taste of that sweet Bungie talent, and they wanted more. So in January 2022, they buy Bungie itself.
Consider it done.
A studio currently maintaining just one popular IP
Yeah, I was gonna
for
say,
$3.6 billion. What a steal. Sony was now set to release a ton of live service games. More than 10 before March 2026, they say.
You serious?
In early 2023, Sony checks up on Concord, and this thing is in rough shape. At this point, it's apparently still in alpha, and it's not looking great. Basic things like player onboarding and monetization haven't even been figured out yet. Worst bit? This is about 5 years into active development. Now, Firewalk consists of around 150 staff. This is in Bellevue, Washington, which means exorbitant rent
Give me money.
and sizable wages.
Give me money.
5 years of this adds up, and by 2023, an apparent $200 million had already gone into the game. Also, the game is supposed to be launching within the next 18 months. But it's in such a rough state.
I'm sorry, when I hear things like that, when you have that much staff and it takes 5 years and it's still in rough shape, you know, it just screams incompetence. There's something wrong with the way you're managing your team. There's something going on. What was it, the video that kind of blew up? The creator of Fallout, talking about how his experience when he was working modern games, how they are now, where it's just like nobody can get shit done because they're just so, well, it was something on the lines of basically them always making meetings and always talking about things instead of getting things done or something like that. I forgot so much of what he talked about, but I agreed with most of the things. It's basically people being incompetent and just not getting shit done. 5 years and the game is still in rough shape, and you have that much employees. Perfect example, Bungie back then, I forgot how many employees they had at the time, but they had to scrap Halo 2, and then in 9 months they made freaking the current Halo 2 that we know and love now. And you're telling me nowadays we can't even make a full game in 5 years? That either screams the people, the talent is incompetent, or something's going on, or the other thing is games are so now convoluted that it takes so many years. It's so weird. You think the amount of years going into technology, you think video games would be able to be produced quicker, but no, it seems like it's the opposite. The more we advance technology, the harder it becomes to get a game out.
Also, the game is supposed to be launching within the next 18 months, but it's in such a rough state that
18 months back then, that could have been 2 Halo 2s. Hell, imagine in 18 months we could have probably had so much content for Halo 2 because a ton of things got scrapped from it, and there's a bunch of files where you can find all the scrap content, like even the music that Martin O'Donnell did. I'm just saying, 18 months we could have had a fully cooked ass buffet of a freaking Halo 2, but 9 months we got what we got, and I'm happy about it.
the game is supposed to be launching within the next 18 months, but it's in such a rough state they'd probably need to use a ton of outsourcing for that to happen. This can be very expensive on short notice.
Oh no.
It's okay.
No.
Internally, Sony is calling this game the future of PlayStation.
Yup.
Executives are even calling it their
Star Wars. Yep, there it
And
is.
the head of
Potential.
PlayStation Studios is so confident, he decides to go all in. And Sony buys Firewalk for an estimated $100 million. Another steal. Now inside Firewalk Studios, and things are interesting. See, there's apparently a lead designer here who's decided she identifies as a professor, and she's demanding everyone at the studio call her that. Don't play ball, and you're potentially out of a job. This is despite not actually having a degree to back that up. She's reportedly not very popular.
What the hell?
There's
How
also
up your own
apparently an
ass do you have to be?
overall
What?
vibe of,
Yeah,
quote,
toxic positivity. I forgot about that as well.
Bad ideas are not shot down, as that would be like not cool.
Yeah,
As
because
a
that makes
result,
total
the
sense.
decisions here also interesting. See, they've gotten a ton of money in backing from Sony. They could do anything. You know those cinematic Overwatch shorts? Let's do those, but every single week of the year at huge expense to ourselves. Sounds good.
Oh my god.
And they blow a ton of that money on extremely expensive.
At that point, why not just make a movie instead of a game?
Because if this online-only multiplayer shooter needed anything, it was a storyline. Onto the characters. A few years ago, a movie had come out called Guardians of the Galaxy. A few people at Firewalk had seen it. Nice. Let's just do that. And the artists get to work. And after a few years, they'd drawn up some decent concept art for characters. But midway through development, a change of heart. Now, we're making a hero shooter here, and the market is becoming increasingly saturated. We have to do something different, stick out from the crowd. Let's make the characters look absolutely horrific.
Dude, the
maybe
characters.
that's not such a good idea. No, don't disagree.
Don't disagree.
Haven't you read the sign?
You'll be fired.
And so, the brilliant ideas keep rolling. Cool concept, but let's give her some Walmart power armor and make her absolutely enormous. That walking trash can needs a pronoun. Make her 73 years old. This one should be humongous. Him, he needs some American football pads and a Turtle Beach headset. Horrible color coordination across the board. And remember, we're designing aliens here.
I mean, you gotta give them some credit. There was some creativity.
Let's just take a man and paint him green.
It just...
Perfect. Now that the
You gotta give him some credit, alright? It was creative, but... but no.
In a
I'm
market
sorry.
where almost all of our better, more established competitors are free to play. And we're done. In May 2023, it's the big PlayStation showcase, and they reveal the game for the first time. And we see an empty spaceship with a jacket in a locker. Right. Cool. Was this a single-player campaign? A co-op looter shooter? Multiplayer FPS? Who knows? But behind the scenes, Sony are still going all in.
It just made...
Blur Studios, the people behind Love, Death and Robots, are making a new anthology series.
Wait, they're the ones making that? I didn't know that. Oh my god, I love Blur Studios. Oh my god, I love Blur Studios. Holy crap, I love their animation. They made the animations for some of the things from Warframe. They're the ones responsible for the remastered different cinematics from Halo 2. Holy crap.
Making a new anthology series on Amazon. Each episode is based on a different game. And turns out, Sony is so confident in their new IP that they'd managed to get one of these episodes to be on Concord. There's also now Concord controllers. Fast forward to May 2024, and at PlayStation's State of Play stream, we see more. This time, an actual gameplay reveal trailer. And the gameplay is actually revealed.
They should have just made this game free to play. And if they couldn't make it free to play, if they were spending that much money on cinematics, like I said, they should have just made this damn thing into like a freaking... They should have just made a small movie. The gameplay, when the gameplay came out, it just, for me, it looked so boring. I immediately I knew the game was gonna fail. I did not want to play the game. A game that was full price, that looked like a completely 10 times worse version of Overwatch 2. If I wanted to play that, I'd just play Overwatch 2.
And the gameplay is actually revealed.
Here's the very first look at the gameplay of Concord.
Turns out, it's just a 5v5 hero shooter with
it's
Guardians
just
of the Galaxy.
And the
on top.
movement, look at that. It's so
This is
slow
alongside
and...
a cinematic reveal, where we finally see the characters that they've put so much money and effort into. The reaction is not great. They tell us they'd gone in on the storytelling. However, the personality of characters...
I don't know why, but whenever I look at this guy right here with a giant head, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the kid from the scientist from Trigun, the freaking giant ass son the scientist made with the freaking rocket arm. It's like they saw that, went, yeah, we'll make that. We'll make him into the game, but just give him some fur like a monkey and give him some gloves.
They tell us they'd gone in on the storytelling. However, the personality of characters amounts to this guy just like really liking hot sauce.
Dousing the...
Marvel writing is also quite prevalent.
Right behind me.
But they assure us the lore is deep, rich.
Yeah, they're cooking.
They'd even spent a ton of money on bringing out new high-quality narrative cutscenes every week.
But
the thing is, no one actually cares about this because it's an online-only multiplayer game. And wait, does that say pre-order? $40? In a market where virtually every competitor is free to play.
Yeah.
Don't worry, lads. This
Makes
thing's worth
no
it.
sense.
There's also a pre-launch beta in July, and everyone's invited.
Everybody's leaving.
But first, the internet is scary.
Oh!
Filled with holes.
I'm Steve.
Navigation can be treacherous. Here, take this.
Oh, thank you, good
See,
sir.
your internet service provider can see everything you do, depending on where you live.
Oh no, they're watching me.
Also sell
Look
all of
at
that data to
the
advertisers.
press ninja. Oh,
And you
no.
didn't just join a public Wi-Fi, did you? See over there? That friendly-looking old lady now has your search history, birth
I'm sorry.
certificate,
In this
social
day and age,
security
if
number,
you're
and several DNA samples.
if you're
Not
joining
only that,
public Wi-Fi like
Links
that,
containing malware exist all over.
it's like
the
it's almost like you're
internet. You
asking
just
to get
clicked one.
hacked.
Fantastic. Now your laptop can make a lovely chopping board.
Oh, that actually
But
hurts
with
to see.
NordVPN, security.
I mean, I hate Apple, so I'm
See,
actually happy that they're using that as a freaking
encrypts
cutting
your
board. But
internet
God, that still
connection
hurts.
at source, meaning your data runs through a secure tunnel, shielding it from hackers. And NordVPN is the fastest VPN.
Stop
out
with
there.
the flash
Just pick a
running.
country, and you're there. Nord also offers advanced threat protection, meaning you're safe from malware, phishing, scams, and other online threats. Also, 24/7
Okay.
customer support,
Okay.
one account for up to 10 devices, and
Okay.
a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Okay.
And NordVPN has a fat discount and 4 months extra for free via this link. Just go to nordvpn.com/bigboss or use this easy-to-remember code.
I might do it. I've been
It's
actually thinking about
finally
getting a
June
VPN.
and doors open. They've even paid a bunch of streamers and YouTubers to be there. But there's a problem. No one's turning up. Everyone is now able to download the beta and play the game at no expense at all. But at this point, on PC, that's 2,380
That's not good.
people. For reference, Overwatch 2 had 1.5 million, Valorant around 3 million. These were both closed betas. The comments are over the moon. Despite all of that, reviews are coming
They
in.
really
and they're
shot
actually
themselves in
pretty
the foot.
good. But at Sony, issues. In February 2022, they'd said they were releasing more than 10 live service games before 2026. But by 2024, that number had dropped to 6. Concord was one of those 6. It needed to do well. The Last of Us 2 Online cancelled. Horizon's multiplayer projects
Cancelled.
MIA. Deviation Games completely canned before they could even get a game out the door. Bungie, which Sony had blown almost $4 billion on, is also doing absolutely terrible, hitting almost 50% of their financial projections and actually losing money.
Oh,
With no more
Bungie.
Destiny sequels or updates lined up, Sony needed another live service shooter.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna go on a run with Bungie here, but all they had to do was just make Destiny 3. Obviously, that's easier said than done, but still, I probably would have actually gotten Destiny 3 if that was actually coming out. I feel like that's like one of the biggest hopes of reviving Destiny at this point. Destiny 2 is such in a rough. Oh God, I can't even speak because that's how annoyed I am. Oh my God, I remember when the whole rumors of Destiny 3 is coming out. Holy crap, Destiny 3 is coming out. I was actually kind of happy. I'm like, I might actually get into Destiny again, and then that got shut down, and now I'm sad.
With no more Destiny sequels
Yeah, they're losing
or
all their
updates
money.
lined up, Sony needed another live service
CEO
shooter,
homie is
and they
too
desperately
busy buying
needed it.
cars.
And judging by Concord's beta numbers, yeah, not good.
Mhm.
They'd also apparently chugged through another $200 million. So that's around $400 million in development costs here. Right, what are we doing here, boys? Change the business model?
That much
Make the
money
game
for a
free-to-play
shit
like
version of
every other hero
Overwatch.
shooter? No. The genre may be completely past its prime, massively oversaturated,
Yep.
and overwhelmingly free to play. But just look at these characters. A masterclass of design.
We're definitely gonna
Bursting
make money,
with
guys.
personality.
DEI, right?
Fellas, there's no way people are passing this up. The $40 stays. And they gear up for the global launch in August, now just 2 months away. It's now August 23rd, and after 8 years and a reported $400 million, the game is out the door. It runs well, isn't buggy, the animations are decent, And the gameplay is actually good. Basically Destiny 2 if it was a hero shooter. There's an okay amount of content in here too. 16
Would you
characters,
describe it like
12
that? Destiny
maps,
2 if
and
it was
6 modes.
Overwatch?
3 maps, modes, and characters would also be released down the line, alongside the extremely expensive weekly cutscenes that everyone just couldn't wait for. But then people boot up the menu, and what they see.
My God, those eyes.
Come on, let's go!
Mushroom Man, She-Hulk, the Michelin Man, a walking, talking, he-him trash can, Walmart laser tag boy, and a very old woman. In fact, the only character not universally hated is the walking trash can.
I like this one.
Besides the characters, the game offers pretty much nothing new to the genre. The maps are bland
It's just
and
stale.
subpar graphics and effects.
I just knew it wouldn't work.
15-year-old PS3 game. The game started development just after Overwatch, and as a result, Concord just kind of feels like half a decade old. Also, like playing as a certain character? Well, unlucky.
Too
because
bad.
in certain game modes, if you win a round as them,
They're
you
locked
can't
out.
play them again
No more.
for the whole game.
Oh, well, that was only
There's
for
also a whole
rank, wasn't
storyline
it?
and
Or was
lore
it the
they've
game?
invested a massive amount of effort and money into. There's even this lore dump star map with loads of planets. But no one cares because the characters suck and it's a multiplayer game with no campaign.
Yeah.
And finally, it's like the 5th best 5v5 shooter on the market. And it's $40 more than everything else. You also need a PSN subscription to play, and it's not even free on PS Plus.
It just
But
makes
the thing
no
is,
sense.
Besides all of that, there's a major problem here. There's only 697 people playing the
God,
game.
it was a...
Almost
He
3,000
didn't even
played the
break
beta, meaning more than
1,000.
half of them had just ditched. The 7-year-old Friday the 13th is also getting 10 times the players. This is a game without dedicated servers. Concord is an online-only, competitive multiplayer FPS. That means it relies heavily on a big, healthy player base. And turns out, Sony had decided to stick a PSN account requirement on, blocking the
my
game
God,
in
dude.
180 countries. Nice one.
They blocked out 180 countries with the PlayStation account thing. They spent $400 million for a freaking a shitter version of Overwatch 2. Not only that, you need a... Well, this is if you're playing on console. You need the freaking membership, which is an extra... What was it? I saw, what, the middle one was like $40 and then 60 if it's a year, and then for a month or something, it's like 20 or 30 bucks or something. Crap. All that when you could just download Overwatch 2 and play it for free to play. Hell, at this point, I don't even like playing Valorant, but I would have just played Valorant instead at that point.
Blocking the game in 180 countries.
Jesus Christ.
Most other big budget AAA games also go on a media blitz before release. But Concord, not so much. Revealing the game just a couple of months before launch, a few paid streams here, some character videos there, and they called it a day. And by launch, somehow, no one had even heard of the game. Those that did,
I forgot
saw
the
that it
page.
cost
Wasn't it
$40
Wildcat
and
made a video?
presumably
They
went
all
to
got
play
sponsored and then a week
literally
later
any
the
other
freaking game
genre
got
for a
shut down.
100% discount. While the game got zero attention pre-launch, after launch, it's everywhere. The memes are plentiful. The characters are so hated.
Why would they give her Thugnificent haircut?
People online start making their own, far better renditions. This designer even spends an hour breaking down how bad they are.
Before and after, it felt impossible to try to salvage these designs.
I think I watched a
So,
video of a guy
the
who
reviews
draws,
are
who redrew all of them to look
20%
better.
recommended on OpenCritic, 1.7 out of 10 user reviews on Metacritic. Eurogamer calls it an arena shooter by ChatGPT. After a
An
few days,
AI-generated
it was clear.
hero
The
shoot.
game was underperforming. In fact, an article comes out claiming the game sold a grand total of around 25,000 copies. That's about
Oh
$1
my
million.
God, that is
A whopping
nothing.
0.25% return. Nice. The devs go ahead and take down the LGBT and political
Wait,
user
they
tags
did?
from the Steam page, but this does little to aid the situation.
Oh my. You know, when people say that, you know, companies are all they listen to is money, that's proof right there. If what all these companies talking about DEI and LGBTQ and all this, they always put it front and center because they think it generates the most money. And then they find out their game that they spent 400 million isn't performing well. They go, oh crap, we need to do something to make more money. How about we just remove the tags of LGBTQ and political from the The thing is, I don't know if that's true because can people mess with the genre in Steam? If you look at Cars, the video game from Disney, one of the tags is hentai. So I'm pretty sure I'm so confused. All I'm saying is, if that is true, Sony themselves, Sony or Firewalk, whatever, they removed those tags. I'm sorry, but that's a bit of proof of companies don't care about DEIM, self or identity politics and all this crap. They just care about money.
The devs go ahead and take down the LGBT and political user tags from the Steam page,
Oh
but this
my
does little
God.
to aid the situation. Things are going abysmally, but Firehawk isn't done just yet. Turns out, people were complaining about the game online, so they boot up Twitter and start typing. The game was a labour of love. Criticize it, and you're a weird, talentless freak.
Yeah, I forgot about
But
this. Yeah, the
doesn't go down
dev.
well
Yeah.
either, with the horrific player count alongside the barrage of memes online.
Yeah, the dev saying that if you make fun of it or whatever, you're a talentless freak or whatever. But then there was also the other one where people were complaining about the art style and the creative choices for the characters design. And then I think the artist came out saying like, hey, stop talking trash. A lot of people got fired and it's really bad and all. I'm like, nobody cares. Nobody freaking cares. They're giving you feedback on the freaking here it is. The character concept art team, including myself, is going through an extremely difficult time emotionally, and some on the team no longer want to work in games, design characters, or even do art anymore after this. Because of this, posts like yours, though understandable, are unfortunately ill-timed. Did someone say fortunate? I'll give you credit for creativity, but it just didn't work well. I'm sorry. Some people will like it, some people don't, and the majority of people just didn't like the art style. I didn't like it either. It didn't look good. I forgot what the main post said, but basically it was kind of, oh, if I remember, it was a post basically saying about how she doesn't show it, but if I remember, it was something on the lines of saying that she was trying to redraw the person was trying to redraw the art style of it or whatever, and then the senior concept artist or whatever, which is her, Amanda or whatever, just went off on the rails on her, basically saying all this. I'm just like, nobody freaking cares. I'm sorry. Behind the scenes of all of this talk about Concord and character designs, people's livelihoods are at risk, and there are very real financial consequences that might hurt us even more. Yet again, I'm sorry, but nobody freaking cares. If a restaurant is really horrible at making food, they deserve to get bad criticism for it. And if they lose the restaurant, then it's too bad. You lose the restaurant. You serve shit food. The whole point of a restaurant is to serve good food. The whole point of the art team is to make art style that people will like in a video game. And if people don't like it, sorry, but nobody liked it. Does that mean you should stop drawing anymore or work on games or stop designing characters? No, it's just this was a miss. And then for you to start doing the whole victimhood thing here of like our lives are at risk and all this, it's a cheap shot.
With the horrific player count alongside the barrage of memes online, it was obvious the game had to go free to play. There was no other option. But then, on the 3rd of September, Firewalk comes
Taken
out with
down.
a statement. Gents, it's been fantastic. But despite the support and the passionate community that has grown around
Passionate,
the game,
yeah. Okay.
we're pulling the plug. The game is going offline in 3 days' time. While we explore options
Oh, and
to
then
bring it
people
back,
were grinding, just jumping off
they
the
also offer
freaking map
refunds
just to get that
every
platinum
single person that
trophy.
bought the game, regardless of playtime. It's not just digital copies either. Sony is actually refunding every physical copy too. And now retailers aren't even letting people buy the game.
They wouldn't let me check out, even though they had this on the shelves.
Wait,
on the
really?
floor. It's probably gonna be around.
Oh
for a
my
year.
god, I didn't know that.
That was not the plan.
Technically, it was a plan. It just wasn't the same plan that we started with.
In mid-September, Concord's game director steps down, while some of the 150 odd developers at Firewalk try pitching Sony on other ideas. Some think they'll be used as a support studio, others fear a wave of layoffs, maybe even the whole studio being canned. Also, Concord's Amazon episode is staying in, and is due to air this December.
Wait, really?
But
I mean,
regardless, on the 6th of September,
hey, all I'm gonna say is, if they make a show, I mean, it might work. It's just the game didn't work. Who knows? It might be better than freaking Halo.
But Amazon episode is staying in and is due to air this December. But regardless, on the 6th of September, we bid farewell. 12 days after launch,
Ain't nobody
and the servers
crying
go down
like that for that
worldwide.
game.
8 years, an alleged $400 million.
8 years,
Gone
400 million.
in the blink.
Just for 600 players to play your game when it came out. That is
Yep, they shut down.
bonkers. Ah, yes, ladies and gentlemen, Concord. I mean, is it the worst game to ever be released? I mean, for sure, it's definitely one of them. It's just the moment that game came out, I knew it was gonna end horribly. Didn't think it was gonna end this horribly, but I knew it was gonna end horribly. It just did not look good. The movement system immediately was a turn off. I heard a lot of people say that you just feel slow as hell. And oh my god, dude. If any of you bought the game, let me know down in the comments. Why would you buy it? I'm just gonna straight up ask you, why the hell did you buy it? But I mean, I say this, but hell, if I was a bigger YouTuber and they said, hey, play the game, we'll give you some money. Oh hell, if they gave me some good money, I'd be like, hey, this is the best game ever, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, that's the end, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know if there's anything you want me to react to. I'm all ears. I'm down to reacting some more stuff. Let me know if you want some meme reactions or something, and I am thinking about doing something like a freaking tier list video or some crap. I don't know. Anyway, let me know. Remember to sub and like. Go check out Big Boss and his video in the description. And I'll see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Peace, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.